We are Journals Out Loud. I'm your lovely and captivating host, Louise Palanker, and I'm here with a panel of wise and wonderful teenagers. We're here to talk about all of the stuff in life that matters.
I've been out there wandering.
Can you sing it? This group of kids, you guys.
My voice sucks right now.
Me either.
You
It
guys.
sounds like a dying cow.
I'll dance to it though. I'll do the.
Yeah, we can do some head bobs, yeah. So we're here. Everyone's doing fantastic, having a lovely evening. Anything to report? Any news?
I'm going to Alaska tomorrow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Alaska is beautiful.
First time in negative degree weather.
Amen.
Oh wow.
How are you going to get
Yeah,
there?
It's freezing.
Fly.
Oh, you're flying?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I'm going somewhere for the break. I have no idea where exactly because my family always plans stuff out like in the last minute.
Did
So
they-
I'll find.
Wow. That's going to be surprising since you don't. Is there any blindfolding involved? Or how does this?
No, it's just like
middle of the night? Do they?
like we got a car, the rental car booked, and we just like get on the car, and then we just find out,
Oh,
hey,
wow.
okay, let's just go
Really?
here, and then we
I
just go
see.
there.
It's like, hey kids, let's go sit in traffic. Yay!
Yeah, kind
That's
of.
amazing.
Yay, Dad!
I enjoyed the drive, so that's all good.
I'm going
That's
to
awesome.
Catalina Island tomorrow. I'm excited about that.
Oh, have you been there before?
No, it's my
It's
first time.
the cutest.
I went there for my birthday
thing.
this year.
People
It's
really
amazing.
love
I'm
Catalina.
excited.
It's
to
a
see that.
toy city.
Oh,
It
really?
is.
Yeah, it's miniature.
It's so small.
Yeah.
Like
Really?
when you like go away from it and then you see the entirety of like where you're going to be, the actual island that's consumed by people, it's so tiny.
There's
Oh,
tiny
okay.
cars, tiny streets, and tiny people.
I look forward to
Go up
seeing
the
everything
mountains.
tiny.
Go up the
Adorable.
mountains.
Oh, okay,
Beautiful
definitely.
scenery.
I've never been there.
Neither have I.
This weekend, I'm going to Las Vegas. My friends are,
Hey.
one of my friends, Evan, and one of my friends, Zach. They're playing at Bass Entrapment. They're DJs, which is it's a really big event that.
Awesome for
of
them.
Catalina.
Yeah.
And speaking of, news like that, I got some pretty exciting news.
Yes,
I hope
you
you
do.
guys find it. But
Yes.
well, exciting news. First, there was a show that I did, Justice with Judge Maybelline, which just came out on the CW network this week. So I'm excited for people to see that. I play a very rebellious teenager, so that was very fun because I'm nothing like that in real life.
Wait, can we
Sorry,
hear?
hope
Can
not.
we hear your voice when you're being rebellious?
Oh my god,
Hear
okay.
this.
Okay, just ask me a question and I'll do my best rebellious
Where
impression.
were you all day Wednesday?
I don't know. Where do you think I was?
Young
Whoa.
The difference.
Young lady.
It's like a whole other person.
Oh my goodness!
I know.
I
and
hope
every,
Judge Maybelline.
every time they said cut, I was like, I'm sorry, that's not really me in real life. And they were like, we know. And I was like, just wanted to reinforce it, you know?
They're like cut, and you're like, I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry, guys.
Can I get you something?
Yeah, they're
I
like-
bake.
They're like, you're the nicest and meanest girl we've ever met. And I'm like, it's all good. And then I just finished doing a crime show, a new crime show, which is coming out next year. And I play the victim. So that's fun. I die. So that's really cool.
Wow.
Spoiler alert.
Victim, death. Yeah, but that's really cool. But just want to share that with you guys. So I released some
Congratulations.
And you're in,
Thank
you're in
you.
a new musical, right?
Yes, and the musical too, which I will definitely be releasing more details about that. But I just got a lead role in it, and it's really fun because I get to rap and sing. And did you guys know I rap?
Wait, you're in Hamilton.
No.
You guys didn't
You
know I rap?
rap?
Yes, I'm a rapper and a
Like
singer.
your own stuff.
Yeah, like my own
Oh,
stuff.
can you
Nice.
give us a taste?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we want to hear it.
Someone
How does a bastard orphan son of a whore?
Okay, well, since you guys asked, okay, let's see what I got in my old brain. Let's see. On the ball, at the top and now I fall. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the baddest of them all? When I rap, I hear applause. When you rap, you hear applause. They mistake me for a kitten. This kitty has claws. No, this is not algebra. I do have an equal. You were just a conversation. I am a conference call. I am the man of the hour. Perfect timing. Interior decor. Rap game I'm redesigning. Talking ammunition. Took a shot and didn't miss it. And even the optician knew I had a different vision. Cause success is my addiction, overdosing on ambition. I knew that I would make it, oh, with alter intuition. Look at you, what were you thinking? I'll give up my position, obviously you were not listening. I make the final decision. Do I make myself clear? Not a fan of repetition. I don't chase, I replace. You think you're crazy? I'm insane.
Damn!
That
Word.
was crazy.
Oh
my
Y'all.
God.
Y'all just got served.
Ow.
It.
That was great.
That was
Hashtag.
amazing.
All right, we're all
Amazing.
booking tickets to see this show.
Oh, yeah. I
Oh,
feel
you
like
could.
you'd be a really good hype man, though. You just
Dude, for
feel
sure.
that way.
Get it.
Julie, would you read the first question?
Absolutely. I keep trying to tell my boyfriend that he chooses his friends over me, but he doesn't care. He denies it and avoids it. It upsets me that he is so oblivious and I don't know what to do. Should I distance myself? Should I try and get over it?
Well, the question just suddenly ends. She's like, question, done. Thoughts?
I mean, I take a second. Are you being a little clingy? If not, and you've asked other people, hey, am I being clingy? Then I would say tell him one more time, and then distance yourself. Let him know that he's not giving enough time for you. But as a girl, you might be being clingy. So just take a second, and then if you're not, then he's being stupid.
Yeah, because trying to tell guys how they're acting
Right.
doesn't really work out well. I know from experience. You can't tell them. They kind of have to just see it on their own. And remember that, girls are more mature than boys. So you're
No
Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
sorry,
It's okay,
but
it's okay.
I mean, most of the time,
Sure,
you
stereotypically,
know,
definitely,
there's
yeah.
exceptions, but honestly, they just kind of have to realize it on their own. And if you're just too mature for the relationship, like Katie Michael said, if you're not being clingy and you just see that he's not really into a relationship, boy, bye.
Tell him bye.
Beyonce, get it.
But what about
Yes.
how do you establish the balance within a relationship of managing your expectations? Like, how do you have that conversation with him where you kind of go about determining what amount of time will be spent together and what amount of time will be spent with friends or alone, or, because
If they're
everyone has
in-
different needs.
If they're in high school, though, I don't think they're really going to sit down and talk about that. I feel that's more adult relationships.
Really?
Yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
because it's it's all like a give and take, no matter how old you are, though. It's all a bunch of compromise. But I mean, in high school, because you see each other at lunchtime, whatever, and then if you go to the football game, if they're in the whatever they're doing, and then you have the parties or whatever. But if I'm guessing this is a high school relationship, they're definitely not going to sit down and talk about that. But it's probably just going to be a little bit of a lot of drama. He's going to be like, I'm always hanging out with you, and she's going to be like, you're never hanging out with me. And so it's definitely a little give and take, but you kind of gotta go as you go,
Yeah.
I mean, because if you as the girl sit him down and be like, we have to talk, he's gonna be like, we getting married or something, bro? What's going on here? Dude? You know what I mean? It's
You're
just
in
not-
high school.
I mean, you're in high school.
You're in
Yeah.
that's what they're gonna throw you. They're just gonna throw you at your face. They're gonna be like, "We're in high school. Chill a little bit. I might be moving across the country next year. I'm a senior.
yeah.
You know what I mean? You just don't know. So I wouldn't take it. I mean, take it seriously, but not too seriously.
Yeah, but also spend time with your friends too, and
Yeah.
make sure that a relationship isn't
Yeah.
consuming
Right.
your life. you
Right.
know?
You can't. That's not the only thing you need to be thinking about.
Yeah, I mean, make sure that do realize that he probably might want to hang out with his friends sometimes. So don't be clingy to him. Let him hang out if he wants to hang out with them. But I mean, if he's choosing them over you every single time, then I mean, maybe you should somewhat try to have a talk or something like that.
I think you can probably do a little bit to avoid drama. So, for example,
Yeah.
nobody always anything or nobody never anything. Those are when you hear that said to you, you're just like, I do, because the only thing you always do is breathe or exist, and the only thing you never do is kill people or what have you. So
Hopefully.
when you make those accusations, it's that's going to ratchet up the tension. So what are some other ways of saying, I miss you, or I wish I could spend more time with you, that would make him want to spend more time with you?
I'd say set up I mean, like I said, certain days that you guys go to lunch. You know, if you're hanging out with your boys on Friday night, make sure you hang out with your girl Saturday morning. You know, like little things like that. I mean, plan stuff. I think that's really easy to plan. Like, you guys want to carpool together in the morning before you go to school, or
That's a cute
after
idea.
school, right? Yeah,
like
you know what I
that.
mean. Like little things like that. I think so. Then you get that time with him, and then he also then at the end of the day, you know, cause since you guys carpooled, you know, you can have your time with your friends. Your little girlfriend Brittany can pick you up, and then his boyfriend John, you know, can come pick him up.
Yeah, you know how John is.
Yeah, John's chill. I like John.
I'd say don't worry too much, since this is probably like, I'm guessing high school or even lower, and it's just like probably spend more time with your friends instead and just have a good time with them, because that's what it's more important to be with your friends, I'd say.
One thing you want to always sort of try to advance is the concept of having him miss you and wonder where you are.
It goes back to
Yeah.
being clingy.
And
Yeah,
so
it doesn't like distance makes the heart fonder. Or something?
yeah, and
Yeah.
and
I
that
don't think
takes some
that's true.
courage, some patience, and some
do.
delaying your gratification.
Yeah, let
kind
him
of-
miss
I
you.
don't know. That didn't work for me. That's the thing.
Really?
That didn't
Oh,
work
it worked for me.
When me and my boyfriend, we were like, we're gonna be together forever. We're like graduating high school, whatever. Not like a couple months. I get out here and I'm like, I'm kind of chilling.
Well, you had like a new.
But he also pissed me off. So it was kind of also
Okay.
him. It wasn't just like I like, you know, fell in love with somebody else. That's not it. It was just like I was able to be on. I was able to be by myself, and
It's like the way you drifted away from that microphone. You're like,
Well,
please.
no, you just had like a different experience, and like you kind of started a new life. If you start a
Right.
new life,
Yeah.
you're not gonna really stay with the person unless they kind of start it with you. But then that's just like a whole thing, and you don't really want to get into that. So
Yeah, but
that
you know,
makes sense.
No, I feel you. I feel you.
Okay, good.
I guess if you're still together in high school and you stop hanging out with him like you're saying, that would make him be like, damn, I miss my girl. But I guess my situation would be different. Okay, yeah. No, I agree.
yeah, when you you completely
Glad
move
we
away,
talked that through.
all of your
Therapy.
circumstances changed, and all of the people around you changed, and plus you were already like a little annoyed, right? So that's like the perfect storm of like, bah.
Tell him.
All right, Katie Michael, would you read the next question, please?
Yeah. Sorry. I'm a little sick, guys.
froggy voice.
My best friend is 16 and I'm 15. I never get picked over her. She gets every single guy, and I can't help but feeling lonely. One time she had a boyfriend, but her boyfriend was always flirting with me, and he said he liked me first because he couldn't get me, he went to my best friend, which kind of hurt because he didn't even try to start a conversation with me. I feel just like I'm always gonna be second choice when it comes to her. She's a bit out there when it comes to guys, and that makes me think that most of the guys she dates only want her for sex. Oh, plot twist. But I always ask myself, why didn't he go for me? How come the guys that I want never want me? Am I a horrible person? First of all, no, you're not a horrible person. Second of all, she's 16. So guys are attracted to older women. That's, you know what I mean?
One
and if she
year
is putting
age
out,
difference.
if
It's a
she,
big
One
deal.
year.
I'm just saying that 1 year, 18, 17 to 18, or 20 to 21, that makes a difference for
No,
for
I
people.
totally
And
agree.
right?
I just think it's hilarious that it's 1 year.
Right. but also like if she's putting out, I mean, and boys your age, I mean, I'm not surprised. That doesn't mean you should put out. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
You
no,
should be surprised if the boys are going for it. It's not that you're a horrible person or that you're not good enough. It's just
That's all they want.
Boy-
to get
boys
in your
want-
pants.
And also, what type of boy, really? Because
exactly.
no, that's what I was
true.
gonna
True.
say.
What kind of boy are you wanting?
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with what Casey Michael said. First of all, like, if you know that she's someone who's sexually active and she puts herself out there a lot, then that could be a main reason why all the guys go to her. And I mean, honestly, like, I know this is about to sound really twisted, but I would kind of feel flattered if no guy really went for me, because then that means that you're someone like who respects yourself, and they can see that you respect yourself, and they'll look at you and they'll think, okay, like there's no way this is gonna fly with her because, you know, she's someone that is, you know, like she doesn't put herself out there like that. So I mean, think of it from a positive. You know, there's always a positive to a negative.
I wish I thought like that when I was in high school.
Yeah, no,
Jeez, where were you when I needed you?
no, I really love that so much because this girl could be the girl that you're envying right now. cut to 10 years later.
Right.
You've
What
got
is
two. You've got two kids.
Right.
And she's got two kids, and you're off doing all of your adventures, and the
Exactly.
envying is going to be on the other foot. So
sure.
I love that outlook, Vidovik.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you because like a lot of people they feel in their current situation that like they're envying someone else and they feel like they're in the lower position, but they don't realize that right now what happens doesn't matter like in high school or in high school because like it all matters about what happens later, you know. So how you do later, and it's like if she's attracted to guys because she wants to have sex, that means that it's a good thing that you're not being engaged in that type of stuff because you really don't need to be.
Yeah, no, and I would say, I mean, like I've so been there before where you just feel like every other girl has a guy except for you. And, you know, you have that moment, but you need to remind yourself that like there will be a guy that wants you for you, and you have to stay true to who you are and where you're at to make sure that you're with the right person. Like, don't just be with guys to be with guys. Like, I think that a lot of girls feel like if all their friends are in a relationship or being with all these guys, that like you should also. And I think that, you know, it's hard, especially in high school, because girls are so much in each other's business, and you do know everything, and you want, you know, what you can't have, and then you have it, and you're like, wait a minute, no. So I think, you know, don't let it freak you out. You have so much of life, and like this is one little like part of it. But you are not a horrible person, and you know, the guys that you want not wanting you, there's also an immaturity factor. Like these guys in high school, or is this high school? Yeah, high school.
16, 15.
Yeah.
Like you guys are just, they're immature, and they want what they think that they can have quickly, and they don't want to get hurt or embarrassed if they, you know, if you turn them down. So there's just like a lot of factors. Don't let it affect you personally.
Because I'll just say, like, when I was in high school, I literally, like, I have, like, a friend that it's, like, my little brother. He's a couple years younger than me, but, like, wise beyond his years. And I was in the car, I remember senior year, crying to him because I'm like, I'm never going to have a boyfriend. I can't, no guy ever wants to date me. Like, it's nothing. Like, I never really had guys wanting to date me. They wanted to talk to me, and then when I wouldn't put out, they would move on. So it was just like, oh yay, like, and I felt terrible. Like, he literally would text me, I remember you crying. So I was there, and you just like,
And now you're in
like
a,
she said, I literally, like, what you said, I wish I had that when I was in high school, because that would have made me not sit in my car and cry my eyes out thinking that I would never have a boyfriend. And so you just have to know, like, respect yourself and know that, well, you're not putting out, so you're going to be the one that doesn't have kids and be off doing their dreams. I think that's like the best advice you could give. So
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to look at kids that are growing up too soon and not want what they have or what they're doing, and not find that desirable because it's so new and exciting, and to have someone in love with you and all those things. But there's so much responsibility that comes along with that you're not ready for at 15 or 16. And so I would say be thankful. This is a blessing.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing you're probably you two are probably sophomores and juniors. I'm a senior right now in high school, and I'm not dating at all. And it's just like, I kind of get how you feel in a way when it's just like when you see other, like for me, it's like when other girls are liking certain guys, even though their qualities are horrible, they're just not like, they're total douchebags sometimes, and it's like they still like them. And it's just like, I've been told sometimes I'm a charming person, all that stuff, but I'm not really the type of person that people generally want to date. And for me, it doesn't matter right now.
When you become an adult, everyone's gonna want to date you. Just saying. Sorry, I was
you.
like trying to say that. I kiss the mic and everything. No, but
Yeah.
seriously, that attitude is gonna make girls, when they're adults, really want you.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
all.
because
That's all I
the
was been
girls,
told.
girls
you
look
know
at a
that.
guy like you and they're like, that's a man. Honestly. And every girl, because you're outnumbered now, so we got you. But like, right? That's a man. That's the guy you want. He's not a boy. And the problem with those guys in high school
They're
is
all boys.
they tend to stay that age forever.
Yeah, exactly.
For a long
And
Yeah,
I'm sure
for a long time.
I'm sure there'll be guys out there.
Get
I'm-
over it.
Yeah.
Move on.
I'm sure there'll be guys out there that will like you for your maturity itself. Because I mean, if you can stay with this mentality that you don't really need this guy to like you, then that will definitely show a good sense of maturity, and that'll just show out to other people, and you'll be good.
I mean, yeah, I definitely agree with what you said. I mean, I'm a senior right now in high school, and I've never had a boyfriend, like, ever. Like, no first kiss, no nothing. And, like, yeah. So, I'm like, everybody's always like, oh, and I'm like, stop it. But I mean, like, the thing for me is when you think about it also, it's like, if I were to date someone in high school, like, do I see myself going, like, like I know a lot of people say, don't take relationships seriously, but with me at the same time, it's like I want to date someone who I know there's like a future that I can build with that person. Like they can make my time worthwhile, and we can both benefit from each other and learn from each other and grow. And I just don't think there's any point in rushing to be in a relationship, especially in high school when there's so much other stuff to be worrying about. Like I'm a senior right now. I have college applications. I have every extracurriculars and everything. I don't have the time. And then I'm seeing people like, maybe I'll do my college applications, push it back a week, and they're like going out with their friends and spending time with their boyfriend. It's like that's not something that's gonna benefit my career and my future. So why would I spend time on that when I could be spending time on other things? And wherever you go, like with your career and your pathway, you'll find someone who's on that same pathway, who thinks the way you do, who's into the same things you do. And that's when you'll realize, like, God, I'm so happy that I didn't waste my time on relationships back then. And you'll just appreciate relationships so much more. So
And
Kind of like the
same.
more time you spend, the more time you spend working on the sustainability of your personality and your sense of self, like the healthier you're going to be in all aspects of your life, including relationships. And so as much as you yearn to love and be loved in return when you're in high school, that's kind of like what you do with your imagination and everything. But as much as you yearn for that, it doesn't mean that you're supposed to do it, not to cast aspersions against kids that are dating in high school, because that can be fine too. But try to keep everything in balance. And if you spend time working on who you are and you defer dating, that can be really healthy long term. So I know it hurts to watch other people date, but it could work out great for you. So
True
listen to some like really good romantic songs and then just cry and like know that romance is waiting for you. It's not going anywhere. Vedavik, would you read the next question, please?
All right. I'm gay, but as a 14-year-old teenager, it's pretty hard. It doesn't help that I go to an all-boys school where you can have a crush on a boy, but you can't ask them out because they're not gay, or at least they haven't come out.
Is there more to it?
Yeah.
There's more to it.
Continued.
Oh, okay. There's this one guy I have a crush on. He's perfect, kind, and helpful. We are friends, but I would really want more than that. He's never had a girlfriend, but I don't know if he's gay. At my school, nobody's out yet. What can I do to tell if he's gay? I know that sounds weird, but if I go for it straight away without working out his sexual preference, then all eyes in the school will be turned on me.
This is
Tough.
a tough one.
This is hard
Wow.
because
Are you proud to be gay? Do you want to tell people that you're gay? Because that would be like the best thing, I think, so other people can know that you
To
are
come
and
out,
maybe
too.
want to like come out.
I
Well,
think
because
that's
if you
probably
just-
the only way.
So-
Honestly, 'cause
Yeah.
you can't beat around the bush really, and you can't you can't just be like, hey, you ever.
So the kid is 14,
about
all right?
getting
So what
together.
we just talked about was like, that dating doesn't have to happen like right
Right.
now.
Yeah, again, yeah.
So he's 14. He could be in middle school
Right.
still. And so, yeah, Jilly.
No, I mean, I think on that note, like maybe try a friendship with him and then see, you could always like try and talk to him about like your sexuality and like where you're at and see if he opens up to you. But maybe just like focus on a friendship and then try and go from there.
One
I
good
would
thing
say-
that I tell kids is that if you want to say things to people like, hey, I like this certain celebrity who's gay, like I like Tyler, what's the guy's name?
Oakley.
Yeah, I like Tyler
Yeah.
Oakley, or, and just talk about celebrities who are out and just see.
Like, do you have a celebrity crush? And then just see.
Yeah. Yeah, Katie Michael.
I mean, I would just say I would say you should come out then. If you're comfortable, I think that's the first step. I think you should come out, and then others will follow. And if he's not gay, then you guys can just be friends, and then you can find like a real person. But I definitely think you can't kind of keep it a secret while also finding out if other people are gay.
You're going to have to come out one way or
Yeah.
another.
Yeah,
Or
you-
at one time or another. Yeah.
You'll have to eventually come out for sure, but I think coming out right now, you might want to be careful depending on where you're living, depending on like how accepting they are. It's like
But I don't
here
know
in the
if
state,
he's
at least, like here in these,
not
like in California, like you'll be pretty accepting, but it's like depending on what state you might be, it's like, and
You
which
shouldn't-
area of it, you might want to be careful.
I
You
feel
shouldn't
what
be
you're about to say.
scared, though. Yeah, like,
But you shouldn't be scared. But it's hard sometimes
I
where
know.
where you live, and
Yeah.
I mean, look, there's a bunch of those movies where all those people get like bullied and stuff. That's a real thing, and that's
That's
why
a real
people
thing,
don't
yes.
come out. So, yes, you shouldn't be scared. You should be proud. I mean, look at Glee. You know what I mean? You should be
Yeah.
proud, but at the same time, like,
I mean, like, This reminds me, actually, I don't know if you guys have ever seen this show on AB. Well, now it's called Freeform, called The Fosters, and there's like this.
I love that show.
Really? That's
Sorry, I freaking love that
Okay,
show.
well, high
so
five.
bad.
Right? It's such an amazing
It's
show.
so
isn't it?
good. I love it.
So obviously you know Jude then. Which actually, fun fact, I used to go to acting classes
Christina
with the guy who plays Jude, Hayden Bailey.
Really?
Yeah, that was so
Wow.
cool to see him on there. But like, you know, he had the problem where he wanted to come out and he had a crush on his best friend and he didn't really know how to go about it. And I feel like that show was really educational in the sense that a lot of times, even if you're worried, like I know obviously it must be a difficult position for you where, you know, you want to come out, but nobody else has come out. And it's like, you know, what's my 50-50 of if I do come out? And a lot of times you'll just be so surprised. A lot of kids, especially, I feel like with this generation, we're a lot more accepting than previous. And I feel like I don't know, like it's hard because obviously there's always like that possibility of, you know, being bullied and stuff, but I feel like you should give it a shot just because you never know. And like you said, it is an all boys school, so I feel like it would be really, I don't know, like I don't feel like you'd be the only one, you know what I mean? Like I feel like they're all
There's
just
gotta be
yeah,
another
there's
one.
gotta be some other kids and they're just waiting for like the first one to kind
At
of like
least one
lead the
other.
way. Yeah, so I
all
would
boys
say like
school
go
being
for
gay,
it,
that's
you know,
really
you
fun,
have
though.
nothing.
You should definitely see the fun. I seriously see the fun in that. You're gay and you're in an all boys school. Like that's literally. I mean, that's like you're off your diet and you can just eat the whole breakfast or
Stop.
dessert
What
table.
are you can wait to
yeah.
date. It's
Oh
just
no,
that,
not date. I'm talking about look. I'm talking about looking.
It's just that he
No problem in looking.
look, you're not the only gay kid at your school. There's lots of gay kids at your school, but at 14, it can feel like you're the only.
Yeah.
You will be shocked to find out that at least 5 or 10% of the kids at your school are.
Okay.
Wait till that reunion.
Yeah, you'll be like, what? Yeah.
I still feel like there'll be a lot of guys. Since you're going to all guys school, I feel like there'll be a lot of guys who like to who are pretty homophobic, and depending on where you live again, and it's like,
True.
and when homophobic guys like to flatter themselves to think that the gay guy would fall for them, but they got to realize that first of all, they got to still be attractive and like they still got to be likable as a person. They're not gonna just fall for anyone. I'm assuming at least.
I just think that if you are comfortable enough to come out and see what happens, but just be wary that there might be homophobic people that may happen. So just be really cautious on what other people are going to say and think. You might get bullied, you might not, depending on where you are again. So if you want to come out, just know that other bad things might happen, but at least you're going to be relieved and not have to keep that secret in, because I know that could be eating you up a little bit too.
And maybe like a safer way if you don't, you know, like want to reveal your identity just yet, you could either like maybe go through one of the trusted adults, you know, someone who you trust at the school to talk about. And I mean, like teachers, like they know everything, they really do.
Yeah.
So I mean, like you could end up finding out that like, hey, you know, this kid is like in your same position, and they could help kind of ease you into that. Or like I don't know if you guys like I know with our school we have like a few apps where you can post like anonymous stuff and just kind of like, you know, post like, hey guys, you know, I'm gay, or, you know, I want to come out and I don't know what to do, and then see like what other people kind of just like test the waters, you know, and that way your identity is still hidden. And if you get like a negative response, and you can say, okay, well right now is not the right time, I'll wait until later.
All right, so a couple of things. First of all, there's no direct line at age 14 between liking a boy and asking him out. First, you're going to have to come out. The other thing is, if there is any bullying, just know that the people that are most likely to bully a gay kid are the closet cases. And that, you know, and I'm not putting anybody down. I'm just saying that straight kids really don't care who's gay and who isn't. They're like, oh, that's interesting. And then they just move on. So if anyone dares to bully you, it's because that person hasn't been brave enough to come out yet, or they have maybe some bisexual tendencies or what have you. And kids increasingly are learning that, hey, however you are is however you are, and no more judgment. But middle school is still just kind of really brutal. So please, because suicide among gay kids is higher than among straight kids. And I just want you to maybe go online, go on YouTube and watch some It Gets Better videos, and just know that your future awaits you, and that bullying about being gay really stops once you get to college. It probably stops in high school as well. And all of that has to come before you tell a kid that you like him. So let's do this one step at a time, and you're going to be absolutely fine. Who would like to read the next question?
I'll go for it.
Tatiana.
Okay. So, bonbananon, a bonbonanon. Okay, that's what it is.
Bom-bananan?
Yeah, bonbananon. And they said, hey, I have this friend with benefits and we've tried to end it a few times now, but we always end up at it again. These past few days, this girl has been flirting with him and I don't know why, but I've been jealous. Basically, how do I become not jealous? I don't like this feeling one bit. Okay, I've never ever had this like experience before, but from what I've learned from like movies and books and stuff, whenever you don't laugh, guys, I actually learned a lot. Okay, but whenever you kind of make a deal with whether it's a guy or whether it's a girl, like, hey, let's, leave feelings out of this and just make it physical. You obviously have to be attracted to them to a certain point that you agree to that. So I would say, like, maybe in the first place, it was a bad idea for you to have started being friends with benefits with this guy, just because, like, deep down you do know that you have feelings for him, and knowing that it is a physical relationship, and if he doesn't reciprocate those feelings and then you start seeing him hang out with other girls, that's kind of where it gets tricky and where emotions get involved, and then he's going to end up breaking your heart or you're going to end up breaking his heart. So I would try talking to him about it, telling him how you feel. Maybe he does feel the same way for you, but because you've already made this kind of deal, he's just like, oh, well, she's not into me, so I'll go to someone who is, and maybe it will work out. And if it doesn't, maybe just kind of chill from the whole friends with benefits thing. And also, like, I know, like, there was a case like this with a classmate who was doing this because she felt really insecure and she felt like that's the only way that she could get noticed from guys is doing friends with benefits. So if it's something you're doing not because, like, you like the person, but because you want to feel acceptance, I would say, like, maybe don't, like, kind of end that relationship and make sure that you yourself are happy with how you are, like, physically, mentally and stuff like that. And then, like, when you feel good in yourself, then find someone and make sure it's because you guys both like each other, not because, oh, I need to feel accepted, so I'm going to, offer my body so I can feel appreciated. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. It very much does.
Yeah.
Tara.
That was a lot. My head's still spinning right now.
She's good, right?
Yeah, that was. I mean, I
she
think
wasn't
that
even
question
rapping
just
that
wrapped
time.
it up. Yeah. I mean, anything I would say, I kind of would just be reiterating it just in my own words. So, yeah.
It's really
Good job.
Yeah.
That's good.
I'm like just speechless.
I mean, I would just also add that it's normal. Jealous is such a normal feeling and it sucks, but you can't really do anything about it. Like, sometimes you just have to, like, sit with feelings and acknowledge them and just be like, all right, like, this is the way I feel and there's not a whole lot I can do. And you're validated in it, because I think that you do have feelings or you care about this person, and that's not a good feeling, but you kind of just have to let it be and it will eventually dissipate.
Yeah, and I feel like an emotional connection should come before any sort of physical connection, and that girls and women often feel that, oh, I can offer up my body and then that will get this guy's attention. And it really works at the beginning, especially with all of the texting and flirt texting and all of that goes on and that is requested of you. And so for a girl, it can easily feel like, oh, that's how I can capture this guy. And it needs to go in the other order for it to last. Tatiana.
Actually, to add on to what you said, Louise, that I actually saw this quote on Instagram a while back, and it was really interesting to me because I'd never thought of it that way. And they said, when it comes to love, oftentimes girls will use sex for love, and boys will use love for sex.
Wow.
And it was like,
That's
wow,
profound.
yeah, like that. I never thought of it that way. So just keep that in mind as well. Yeah, it is. Unfortunately.
Right.
Yeah.
We're learning, aren't we?
Yeah.
And we're learning together.
Yeah.
Learning.
good.
Okay, who hasn't read yet? Tara? Oh, I can read. How do I deal with all of this stress and anxiety? I'm drowning in homework and assignments just to stay on top of my work, and school in general gives me anxiety to the point where I stay home some days because I can't handle it. I don't know what to do, and I have 2.5 years of high school left so far. It's been a total nightmare.
So, I feels you on that. I like I said in the first time I was here, I have dyslexia, I have ADD, so school is not easy one bit. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't know why there's tests. I don't get how you can tell me something and then 2 hours later I don't know where it went in my brain. But but I did it. I mean, did I graduate with an honors? No, but I graduated with a 4.0. I don't know how, but I did it. You know what I mean? But staying home and being scared of it, that's only going to make it worse, because then you're missing assignments and you're missing that homework. And whatever you're putting before that, I really think you got to, do you procrastinate? Are you hanging out with your friends so that you don't have to do your homework? And then you're making it be like, oh, well, school's just hard, but maybe you're making it harder for yourself. You really got to look at that, because that's what I did. I said, oh, I'm just going to go hang out with my friends and I'll do it later. And then all of a sudden I got all stressed out and I blamed it on something else. It's not the teacher's fault. It was my fault. So don't skip school unless you're sick. Seriously, that's only going to make it worse. If you have your homework assignments, I'm sure there's some book that the teacher has given you or that you've bought that has the answers in it. Or have your parents help you. Tutors, there's so many things. Older student, you have 2 years left, you got to make it work, or somehow create another Facebook and become a billionaire. Those are your two options. So you might as well just do school. You got it. I believe in you.
I think if you do have all the stress and anxiety, you should talk to somebody. I mean, I talked to my counselors when I was in high school, and it really does help. They're there for a reason. And so if they can help you figure it out, like Katie Michael said, if you're procrastinating, then that's probably the reason. But if that's not the reason and you do have maybe your own issues inside, it's good to talk about it and see what solutions you can, think of to where you're not having the anxiety. Is there different ways that you can go about stuff? If you can do homework at the school before you get home and people can help you with it, or find study groups to do it all together. Just find the reason why, and really try to find the reason. Once you find the reason, then you can figure out the solutions to it.
I know how you feel drowning in homework and assignments. Last year was my junior year, which is supposed to be known as the hardest year. Taking 4 APs, and I got track right after school, and then I tried to do acting stuff at the same time. So I got all this stuff. Sometimes I might get home really late, and then my AP English class gives the same amount of work as my other 3 APs combined. It was just a crazy load. We got an essay every day to write, and it was just on top of other homework. We had weekly homework and then we had daily homework, and it was we had all this stuff due, and it was just I just kept pulling too many all-nighters, and I just felt
why
like
does school do that to you
I don't
guys
know.
in general? Why
You
is
see
it
that,
so
that
bad,
Katie Michael is
though?
in physical pain listening
It
to you.
literally hurt me.
Yeah.
4 AP classes. My junior year, I got out of so many classes because you actually don't need. I mean, obviously, if you're, wanting to do that, that's obviously your choice. But the minimum of classes that you needed to take, that's what I did. And hearing you say you took 4 AP classes, and I couldn't get through one regular math class. What?
Yeah, I definitely can relate to what you were saying, B2B, because I also took 4 AP classes my junior, and I had varsity track too, and then acting and all that, and it gets crazy. Even now, my senior, I don't know why I decided to, but I was like, hey, let me take some more APs, so I took 6, and then I was like, okay, and then
6 APs. Sorry.
now I'm taking because I wanted to get up to 10. I set really weird goals for myself. So I was like, I want to graduate.
What are you trying to where are you trying to go for college? What are you trying to do with your life?
My
This
dream
is what
school is Harvard. So
I believe in
Do
you.
you want to be a lawyer? Or what do you want to do?
I mean, in Harvard, actually, a lot of people don't realize, but Harvard has a really good theater arts program. So I wanted to double major originally in theater arts and business, but they don't offer business for a bachelor's. I was like, okay, so theater arts, and then so obviously you really have to be on top of school and stuff, and
Right.
I mean, but I ended up dropping AP Calc. I'm not even taking a math this year because I knew
I
this
dropped
is just too
pre-calc.
much.
Dude, my senior year, I didn't even take a math class. You don't have to take 4 years of math.
I know, right? Yeah.
And my counselor was like, well, we really, encourage people to take 4 years. I said, do I have to take a 4th year? She said, no, but we do. I'm not taking a 4th year.
3 years required.
Bye. I took a proficiency math class because the proficiency test, you have to, pass all 4, whatever. So I didn't. I didn't pass my math, so I took a year of proficiency math testing helping class.
Oh, are you
instead
talking
of-
about the Chesby, the California high school?
Not California, Nevada.
Oh,
But
okay.
basically,
Oh,
they gave you every day. They gave you a proficiency test from years past, and you just did that the whole class. And we went through every question so that, and then different year would be the same questions, just different numbers and different triangles and whatever.
I don't miss
Are you going to
school.
college, Vidavi?
I do not.
Yeah, I plan to. I'm gonna stay more local here, so
Mhm.
I'm planning to try for like UCLA, USC,
Yeah,
and
USC,
yeah.
Caltech,
Yeah.
because like
US
Julie's at
Yeah.
U.
Right on.
Julie's at USC.
I
Yes,
know.
how is it?
Amazing.
A
Amazing.
Trojan? Is that a
Fine.
Trojan?
Trojan,
That is a
right?
Trojan.
Yes.
Nice,
You
Trojan.
just
Nice.
beat
You
UCLA.
You could work at the
actually.
Grove if you go to
We
USC.
beat you.
All
We
right,
beat
so
UCLA.
what we want to say,
Oh,
what we
yeah.
want to
Beat
say here is
UCLA.
you gotta,
Yeah.
of course.
I mean,
you guys,
it's just
Yeah.
what
You
happens.
gotta find the source of the
You
problem.
you gotta put systems in place.
You're right.
Yeah.
And you gotta put a system in place where your scheduling is kind of like it is what it is, and so you don't deviate from it. So that takes the pressure off you if you know that at this time I'm doing this,
You're right.
and just get more disciplined about it. Julie, did you have something?
It's all in you.
Yeah, I would just say I in high school had a lot of trouble because I got migraines, and so I would miss class, and I was constantly catching up and feeling like I had so much work, and talking to your teachers and just saying like, listen, this is taking me a long time, or for me it was like I'm missing class and now I have like 3 essays due and I don't know what to do. But if you talk to your teachers and you say, listen, like, is this supposed to be taking me, X amount of hours? If you aren't procrastinating and if it really is taking you that long, set up time to meet with your teachers if you don't understand something. Like, they are there to help you. Find a teacher that you can talk to. I spend hours in counselors' offices and teachers' offices just talking about life and school, and they're there to help you, especially with work.
Yeah, I mean, keep in mind that teachers can feel like your enemy, but they are employees and they kind of work for you because you're showing up for free and they're getting paid. And so any kid that walks up and says, "Hey, can we be a team? Can we work on this together?" Like, teachers love that.
That's
They
why
love
they're
that.
there. That's the
Yeah.
whole point. When all my friends from high school that want to be teachers, I'm like, but why? And they're like, because helping people and da da da. And I want people to learn, and like that's literally what a teacher is supposed to do. So use them, and abuse them, man.
Unless
Yeah.
they're a
Be
bad
like,
teacher.
I don't understand this, and they'll be like, let me teach it to you, and it's it really is. Yeah, use them and abuse them. They'll love it.
Yeah, definitely.
Well-
I'm sorry.
So for my situation, thing is that okay. So if you're in AP class, if you are in AP classes, then your teacher might not be as like lenient, depending, because since you technically signed up for it. I know for me, I took 3 STEM APs because I'm just a STEM kid, but then the AP English is what I also took, and for that one, our teacher was just like, if you're not like if you're struggling in this, and you just gotta like improve and just do it faster and just get better. Like, he had no way of helping us in it, and I guess in a way it's hard to kind of help a person write better essays and stuff, but it's just like you just gotta keep doing it and keep practicing and type of stuff.
Maybe he's not the best teacher.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, he was just like a.
You
It was
can't teach
too
kids how to
academic.
put outlines together and how to have like an opening
Yeah, he just didn't. He just expected
and
us
how
to
to
do
summarize and how to make your point and I
Yeah.
mean, some people are naturally good writers, some people are naturally good musicians, but you can teach a kid how to play the flute whether or not he's a musical genius. Tatiana.
Yeah, I would definitely say, like you were saying, Louise, to put a system, in place. Like with me, like what I have to do is, because of my extracurriculars and auditions and having to balance everything off school, like, sometimes it gets to the point where I even have to sacrifice social life. So like, during break or during my lunches, I'll start doing my homework. I'll start, like even if it's say an essay, I'll start like doing like a rough draft. Something that like, if I know that I'm stuck, like Tara was saying, then I can like go back to the teacher and be like, hey, I didn't get this. And sometimes I'll ask my mom and dad, I'll be like, can you pick me up an hour later after school ends? I'll go into the library, I'll start like doing my work and see what I need help with. Obviously, I know tutors can be very costly. So like what I'll do is I'll like find who is the kid, who seems like to be the smartest in the class or who's doing really well, and I'll ask them, what do you use to study? How do you do your homework?
I think it's you.
Well, I mean, like with AP government, I'm taking AP government for my APs, and like that is like, at the beginning it was definitely it's a lot of work, and I was like reading the textbook, doing the outlines, everything, and I was like, I'm like doing mediocre right now on my tests. What can I do to improve? And my teacher was like, well, if you're reading the textbook and it's not helping, I don't know, you're just gonna have to figure out another way. So I'm like, thanks for your help. So then I asked like the kid who was getting like 100s every time, and he was like, oh yeah, you can use this and this and this, and he's like, I use Princeton Review and all these, and like it helped change my grade like drastically. So there's always like options interactions. Yeah,
Yeah, that's the
definitely.
top
And you,
kid.
Oh,
meet, you
yeah.
meet a new kid, and that is socializing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And now I made a new friend, and we talk about like, what did you get on this test? And it's like, oh, I didn't do so well. And it's like, oh, well, I use like this more than this, and you get to like learn a lot. So I would definitely. And homework planners. A lot of people in my grade like don't use homework planners at all, and that's like how I keep everything together. Like, say it's Monday, my teacher's like, you have a test on Wednesday. I'll write like in red, like where it says Wednesday, I'll be like AP Gov test today. Like definitely keeping things in check and making sure like, okay, for AP Lit I have this homework, for Gov I have this homework, and a lot of people are like stressing at the last minute, texting their friends like, hey, did we have any homework in this class? And it's like, I would definitely try to be independent and rely on yourself rather than relying on others. And a lot of times people get information mixed up, and then it's like the wrong homework due, and then they won't do it, and then they get in trouble with the teachers. So definitely make sure you have like a system in place for yourself.
Are there any good apps for this?
I used to use Chegg, which is for like tutoring. I don't use it anymore just because the cost was becoming a bit too much. Another one, I go to like the $1 store, honestly. Like, I'm not even afraid to say it, and I'll get like all of my appliances from there. And, you can get like a planner or a homework diary from there.
Old fashioned.
And old fashioned. I just like write, and I'm like the only one in my class. I'm the only one in my class who has a pencil case still up to now. People like
you
come
are
in
that
like,
girl. I love it.
Exactly.
but it's like, like I still need to be prepared for that, because then it's like, hey, do you have a stapler? And I like take it out my pencil case. Like, do you have a glue stick? I take it. Like I always like to come prepared.
I just
You
wanna
are going
point out-
hard. It's established.
I just want to point out really quick that she did say that school in general gives her anxiety. So I think maybe you want to look at that, because like I transferred from public school to private school because I couldn't take the way that my public school was, and like it was getting really, really bad. So I just want to say, like, if your school is bad, don't be afraid to say, hey, I want to be homeschooled, or hey, is there a private school, something, because that could be the case too. It probably couldn't, it might not even be the homework which is what we've been talking about. If it is, then great, we talked a lot about it. But if it's different, if it's because school actually does give you anxiety, you might need to be homeschooled or go to another school that doesn't do that, because I was in the same exact boat as you, if that's your case.
Or start with a conversation with your school counselor. I mean, that's a door that we all walk by going like, I don't know who goes in there, but people
That was
do.
me. I was in there.
So
Yeah.
I know it feels like it's imposing, like, ooh, I wouldn't even know if she'd want to talk to me, but that she's hired. She works there. So what happens when you go see your counselor?
Well, I didn't go to the designated one so much, just because I didn't vibe with her very much. But like I would go to like our principal or like our head of diversity at our school. I was in her office all the time, just because she was like a great sounding board, and she was great to just like talk about life, but also talk about work. And she, would help me, or she'd be like, you should talk to this teacher in this way, because like they know each other also, and like this is the best way that like he'll receive information. So like you go and you talk, but a school counselor is definitely the place to start. There's no shame or weirdness. Like, that's why they're there.
And you can read exactly what you wrote to us
Yeah.
and say, this is what's happening. I feel overwhelmed.
Yep.
And
that's
because
literally
if your
what
parents are just saying, oh, you're lazy or whatever, parents sometimes just don't hear you. But then try another adult who will hear you with a more impartiality regarding, your work ethic or how you're doing in life. All right, Tara, would you read the next question, please?
Yes. I can't keep a friend. Anytime I become good friends with someone, I get unhappy with the friendship after a year or two, and somehow I always end the friendship in a negative way. I don't know if it's me or the people I choose to be friends with. I'm a good person. I'm in a happy relationship of 6 years, but can't keep a happy relationship like with a
Maybe a
your
romantic
partner?
one. Yeah.
Yeah, romantic one.
Interesting. Okay. Is this normal? I also take antidepressants for anxiety, but I'm not sure this would have anything to do with it. I personally don't care for medicine all that much. I think there's another way, a more holistic way. But I know people who are on antidepressants and it works for them. But are you sure maybe your relationship isn't coming in isn't interfering in your friendships? Because if you've been in a happy relationship for 6 years, maybe you don't notice that is causing disrupts with your friendships with people. Just putting it out there.
I gotta say, I can't fully disagree that maybe it's the people, but it might also be you, because I'll tell you why. When I started working at the place that I work, it's customer service, and I could not believe how many people that I met that come to my desk that have zero common sense. I'm like, is this like an infection that people just aren't that don't have common sense? But then I'm like, okay. And I would get in fights with like my coworkers too sometimes, and I'm just like, are you stupid? And it's not really that they're stupid. It's me not having like patience or understanding what they're saying, you know, like taking the time. So it might be you a little bit, and it.
But that's not wrong if it's you, because that's the way that you think.
You got because you can't obviously you can't just not be yourself with somebody else. But like a lot of my. Oh God, I'm so sorry. I suck at this today. But like a lot of my friends, sometimes they'll do something and I'll be like, why did you do that? Why did you do that? And then I'll be like, okay, actually, take a second. They're doing that because of the way that they were raised, or because this happened to them, or blah, 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 whatever it might be. So, I mean, you really gotta, you know, think of if something that they're doing is annoying you, think of it in their perspective, because it might be they're doing something because of the way that they are. So it might be you.
Yeah,
If the common
in not a bad way, though.
the
You know
common
what I mean?
denominator may be you, and we're
Right.
not saying that
Just the
that
way that
means
you
there's
handle
something
things.
wrong with you. We're just
No.
saying change the way you look at people and maybe make a slight adjustment in
Exactly.
yourself, and be willing to do that.
Mine is more patience. I just need to have more patience with people. and
Yeah,
not
then
chill.
that's great that you have that kind of self-awareness,
right.
Tatiana.
And then to add on to what you said and what Tara said, also, you know, with the happy relationship that you've been in for 6 years, it could be that, you know, maybe he's used to your personality. So maybe that's why, you know, it hasn't really broken off, versus when you enter a new friendship and someone's like, wow, like this person is really just like out there, really bold, or like maybe you're too sarcastic or this and this. So maybe they're just not used to the way that you think, which obviously you're used to, so you don't really see how it could come off to other people. Maybe you might come off too strong. So I would definitely like maybe just consider that too, like just how you act around other people, and maybe they don't really take it in a positive way. So.
Right.
I wonder how old this person is for being
I
in a
just-
relationship
Yeah.
for 6
Six
years,
years,
right?
maybe they're 18 or something like that. Yeah.
I feel like they're older, because like I just kind of want to like help you with kind of saying where I'm at a little bit. I had a relationship with a friend for 3 years, and we recently broke off, and it actually it ended really badly, because number one, I feel like you and me are a lot similar. When you were saying that you needed patience, I have think, Tara, think. I really need to. What am I trying to say? Like, I need to practice being patient with people. I really have a problem with thinking like right away if they do something, it's like, why did you do that? And
Right.
sometimes I almost say it, but I have to like not.
That's a problem.
And so, like you were saying, that some people have a different way. They may have a lot of problems, because my ex best friend, she had a lot of internal problems that she didn't fix, and she didn't know what was going on with her. So I was the friend that just couldn't be patient enough to, you know, really work on the relationship. But then that's when you have to know is like, maybe the friendship just wasn't working. Maybe you guys are in two different places, because if you're in a happy relationship with someone, you're in a totally different place than other people are, and they may not be in that same place as you. And so that could be the common denominator in it, where you guys are just two different lives right now, and that it could just not be clicking. So you might need to start surrounding yourself with other people who kind of vibe with you and are in the same spot as you. Maybe don't have problems, or maybe do have problems, like whatever your personality is and what you can handle, those are the people you kind of need to surround yourself with. It's going to be a lot harder to have challenging personalities being your friends, because you're not going to be able to focus on it that much. And like, does that make sense? Kind of.
No,
like,
I wanted to give an example for that. Really, one of my biggest things. I'm very confident. I'm very out there, and I don't really care what people think, and I do what I want when I want with who I want to, right?
Yeah.
And then I know other people that like, they're always like, well, should I do this? I don't know. Like, I don't know. And I'm just like, just do it. Like, I don't care. Like, but then in my brain, I'm like, you know what? Hold up. What have they gone through in their life that are making them, you know, question everything that they do? So that's kind of my example where I'm coming from is, you know, of like taking a step back and
You really need to think
You gotta
before you
think,
talk in
yeah.
these kind of situations, because nobody is the same. Nobody is
No.
perfect. Everybody has their problems. I have problems where I'm like, okay, let's just do it. But then I also am like, but should I? And you would be the person to be like, Tara, just freaking do it.
Right.
So it's like everyone has certain things going on with them every single minute of every single day. So just take a step back. Think before you talk. Like that old saying that all your parents always say.
Right, but
That is the biggest thing.
Let me just interject like one suggestion that's like a concrete suggestion for you, which is that sometimes the way we phrase things can be offensive to people. So
Especially in
if
text
you're
messages.
like you guys and you're like you're an actor and you're outgoing, you're like, why are you doing this? Somebody like, oh, I'm being judged and someone's shutting me out and this is horrible. My world is ending, and then they start to drift away. But if you were to say instead like, help me understand why you're so scared. In other words, write down phrasings that are kinder. Help me understand. That doesn't work for me. Those types of phrasings, and replace the what the heck is wrong with you with that doesn't work for me. I'm going to, I'm not.
I
gonna
got the same advice from somebody.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like sometimes just the way you word things can be friendlier and make a person actually tell you so that you do understand them instead of like shoving them away with your judgment.
you shouldn't. And the thing is that I don't. You shouldn't change who you are to
Right.
like be friends with somebody. But you definitely. I mean, to know people and to coexist with everybody else in the world, you gotta mold with the situation. You not change. You don't change yourself, but you gotta be a little bit like Jello and just like mold through the situation. If you're at a dinner party with a bunch of people that you don't agree with things, you don't want to fight with them. You kind of just go with the flow.
Yeah, that's what Facebook's for.
Right.
Find
Yeah.
common
So-
interests.
Yeah.
too.
So
Yeah,
you
that's
just
a
gotta
good one.
mold. You gotta mold with people, and obviously there's some people that you just don't mold with.
Right.
Don't change yourself, but you gotta obviously do a little bit something different because you can't change. I can't. If we weren't friends for whatever reason, I can't change you, but I can mold a little bit to understand why you're that person.
And that person's going to want to have to be able to mold with you too. If you
Right.
both don't want to fix it, which is what my problem was, then it's not really going to work. So you just have to honestly choose your friends wisely, because friends come and go, and
That's also life, though.
Yeah.
I mean. You don't have all the friends that you're gonna have for the rest of your life. You hope that you at least have one friend, when you die, and they're there. It might,
I love you, Taya. Stay with me forever.
Vetavi, would you read the next question, please?
I just started high school and met the most amazing guy. I've never felt this way about anyone. He makes me smile, and he's there for me, and he's actually such a good influence on me. I know my parents would like him. Problem is, I don't know if I'm allowed to date. How should I bring this up to my parents? Me and him both really want to date.
Oh, wait. How old is she? Oh, it doesn't say how
It
old
doesn't
she
say,
is.
but you have
Started
to.
high
No, but
school.
it's just
We just
started
started high school.
Started high
freshman
school.
year.
Oh, okay.
14,
So like
right?
14.
Yeah. Whenever we get these questions, and I ask my husband the question, he'll be like, "How old are they?" And I'm like, "It doesn't say." And then my thing is just like, if they don't say their age, they're 14.
right.
All right, go
Yeah,
ahead.
probably.
I would say honestly, I don't think you can really beat around the bush for this one. I would just straight up ask them. Just,
Yeah.
Just ask
explain
them.
exactly how you wrote it. I think that's how you should just tell them. I met this really nice guy, and we really like each other. Am I allowed to date? Would
Yeah.
you like to see him first? Would you like maybe him to come over for like a dinner or something? I don't think you can really skirt around it without really asking them and seeing, and hopefully it
One
works
way
out.
possibly to skirt around it would be to say to your mom, like, "So when did you start dating?" And she's
Yeah.
like,
That's good.
if she's awake and listening, she's like, because this is the world's most interesting topic to her is
Yes.
when you're going to start liking someone,
Yes.
right?
I think one of the biggest things though is obviously you gotta be straight out because they're the boss right now. Your parents are the boss; they make the rules, so you gotta ask them. But I think you gotta also really figure out what your thing of dating is, because dating in the grown up world is going out to dinner, going out to a movie. He picks you up, he drives. But dating in high school is okay, we're gonna hold hands now, we're gonna go to lunch, and you're my boyfriend, and then we're gonna kiss and stuff. You know what I mean? So you gotta also know what dating is, because my mom would always be like, okay, but are you guys boyfriends or are you guys just dating? Because you can date and not be boyfriend and girlfriend, or you can be boyfriend and girlfriend and also dating. So
It's complicated.
figure that out. They're gonna want to know.
It's just as complicated as life.
The
Tara.
way I feel like the way that you phrased your question makes me feel that you are very intelligent for whatever age you are in
Yeah,
high school.
for sure.
So I want to say that, when we're saying just straight up ask your parents, I really feel that is the best option for you. And like
deal.
Katie Michael said, just know exactly what you guys
What you're
want.
asking for.
Yeah, know what you're asking for. But yeah, I think you got it. Yeah,
especially like
We're-
what
we're
Tatiana said,
encouraging
like,
you.
would you
really
like
want
him
a
to come
date.
over? Like, that's the like, yes,
Yeah.
she would.
Yeah.
She would really like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's really mature because you're saying you think your parents would love him. So
You go, girl.
and then you can say, well, I you raised me well. I know how to be age appropriate within a relationship. I understand. Go ahead.
You could also do a big friend thing. So invite, 3 or 4 of your friends over, and then he can invite 4 friends over, and then you guys can like all hang out together at the house, and then you could be like, hey, here's John, and your mom can be like, hi, John, and it could all be cool.
John shows up. He shows up in
John
many,
is the name
many
today.
of
I
your
don't know
examples.
why.
Like, he's just
John.
always there. He's like, John's here. Oh,
John's
Here
the
to solve the
homie.
problem.
Can his last name be Smith?
John
Smith.
Smith.
Whatever you want.
Yeah.
I feel like that's just such.
I call
like,
him Johnny, but yeah, we're close.
Johnny.
You guys have been so amazing.
Yeah.
And we are Journals Out Loud on the Journals Network. You can download our app in the iTunes App Store. You can rate us on iTunes or on Stitcher or wherever you have found this lovely podcast. We do appreciate you. Matt Sigmund in the studio, Andrew, Aaron. We've got the whole team. We've got Tara, Vedavit, Tatiana, Katie Michael, and Julie. I'm Louise Palenker, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.